This podcast could potentially have adult language, adult themes, definitely drinking, and possibly the possibility of sexual content. Listener discretion is advised.
Area. Stop fighting with the mysterious Zoom lady. I don't know why she was taking forever. She's just being ridiculous. Okay. Welcome to Drinking with Authors, the literary briefs. As people who listen to us, our professional producers get a hold of these episodes after, so they have to deal with what we do during. So yay. Thanks, Adam. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
So this is the Literary Briefs edition. I'm your host, Erica. I totally forgot where I was. I'm your host, Erica Lance.
You sure didn't get one of them cherries?
Are you sure
yeah, no.
you didn't need a cherry?
Okay, I just want you to see how light this is in comparison to the last episode. So all the pink in it was the moonshine. So that gives you an idea where I'm at right now. Okay. My co-host today is Valerie Willis.
Did we say share, like, and leave us a comment? Did we do that? Wait, one of us needs to start staying sober for this.
I was gonna say, what's happening?
I was gonna. Do you want to try introducing our guest, Valerie? Do you want to try that?
And our guest is Eskay Kabba.
Woo! Woo! Okay, what Valerie was trying to say before she just used sounds again instead of words, as discussed on the previous episode, was don't forget to like and subscribe. We definitely want you to continue to follow our antics. So let's talk again about what we're drinking, because it's a whole new episode. Nobody knows. So in my Green Dragon pub glass, I love this glass. I got it in Virginia. It was at a place that did a whole Lord of the Rings vibe in the pub. It was pretty badass. But it is a cherry limeade, but I created the cherry part from moonshine cherries from the old Tennessee company, and it has a little bit of Sprite and limeade. So it is basically ridiculously sweet moonshine, which is a terrible plan probably in the great scheme of life. Val, what are you drinking?
Koppaberg Premium Cider Mixed Fruit Tropical, and I just finished it. So I'm.
This episode's gonna be a whole lot more.
I don't know how rapid fire questions are gonna go now.
This is gonna be a good one.
This is Val drunk, by the way. Eskay, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Pacific Rim Sweet Riesling. I love it. It's my favorite wine.
Ditto. I'm a huge fan. That and 19 Crimes. I like that one too.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Eskay, first rapid fire question. Are you ready?
Yes.
What is your favorite book of all time?
Of all time, The Giver.
Oh, why?
It was the first book that I really got into. I mean, I was always a reader. It was something about, I don't know. Fantasy and dystopia has always been my first love, and that was the first book that really spoke to me. I don't know why, I just did. And when I discovered, for years I didn't know there were more books than just The Giver, and then I discovered that there were 3 more books written after that, and I lost my mind.
Very cool.
Is also Connor's favorite book.
I like it. Integrated in the story. Well done. What is your least favorite book?
Favorite book. I'm trying to remember if I read a book that I was like, this is awful.
The answer to that is yes. You just now have to remember the title.
So it's not that it's my least favorite book. So there's a series, here we go, about dystopia and apocalyptic stuff again, right? So there is a story called The Passage, and it's actually a series. Fox did a show on it, and that's what made me want to pick up the book. And so I started reading it. It's interesting, but it's a hard read because sometimes it's not it doesn't get to where I needed to get to fast enough.
I got it.
And it's 4 parts. And I got through book 1. I got through book 2. It's 3 parts. Book 3, I still can't get through it because I'm like, why is this so difficult? Can't you just get to like what happens? And so I've paused like halfway through it. And I want to love it. I want to love it so bad, and I just can't. So
I would say that you read books even if you don't like them, which disappoints me because I think it's a
You
giant.
disappointed her, Eskay. It'll never be forgiven. We are do
Yeah.
not finishers
you
here.
do not listen. I'm trying to. I find Twitter, like it's still sitting by the side of my bed because I want to finish it. I'm like, I want to finish it.
Okay, you gave them your money. You don't have to do anything else. Like you
I
literally
know.
don't have to do
I
anything else. You
know. I
already
know.
did
I
it.
need to just shelf it and let it go, don't I?
The way I see it and is it's not necessarily that it's bad writing or a bad story. It's just that author, the way they tell stories doesn't speak to me.
Yeah.
And I rather spend my time reading a story because I get very little reading time. So I defend it. And one of the ways to defend it is, okay, this story is, sometimes I'll circle back and give it another try. Like maybe I'm just not in the mood for that genre and just didn't realize it. And that's happened before.
Yeah.
But I try to kind of cycle through.
Yeah.
Except every single time I pick up this book, I can't get through it.
No, I don't think, and it, again, there's some I legitimately think are bad writing. You will never convince me that 50 Shades of Grey is good writing. Like nobody on the planet will ever convince me that any of that shit is good writing. Because to me, it's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not
my
good
partner's
writing
the
that I
same
just
thing.
don't like.
He
It's to
tried
me
to
not
get
good
through it.
writing.
Yeah.
But
It was
there
such
are
a
some
hype.
stories that are good writing, but they just, I'm not like, I can't read historical romance for the most part because it's so fucking long to get to wherever
No
the fuck
Jane
we're going.
Austen.
Like,
No Emily
Okay.
and
Yeah,
Charlotte Bronte. None of those.
yeah, like
No.
I get it. I totally get it. People love them, and I love the people that love them. Go team, it's your thing. But fuck, I was already off this train. It was moving slow enough. That I got off the train. I'm good.
I'm more of a historical thriller person, like Elizabeth Gustavus, the historian, where there's vampires really coming into play a little bit,
Yeah.
or James Clavell with the whole Shogun and the Taipan and Gaijin. I'm like, yes, people are dying. That's more my jam.
Yeah, no, I can't. Okay. Next question. What is your favorite book to movie or TV show where you think they did the book very good justice?
Good question. There is a book called, you're gonna make me look it up. It's a story, it takes place during the Nazi era. It's the little girl with the books.
The Diary of Anne Frank?
No. No, it's I think it's called like the book something, the bookkeeper, the bookworm. Oh, what is the story called?
I don't know. I think you're just making up stuff now.
I promise you I did. The Book Thief. The Book Thief. I read the book first and I really loved it. And it made me want to go watch the movie. And I was like, this is really well done.
Oh,
Good.
nice. That's one.
Now tell me the opposite. Where do you think they took a book and completely
Destroyed
destroyed it with the movie or TV show?
Twilight.
Really?
I thoroughly enjoyed reading Twilight. The first movie, okay. Second movie,
Oh, I skipped the second one when I rewatched them. I go first, third, fourth, fifth.
okay, right. Okay, so the second one was like, what is this? The fourth, it's, oh God, which one is it? It's either the third book had parts of it that was from Jacob's perspective, and Jacob is my favorite character. I am will always be team Jacob. there were parts of it that was from Jacob's perspective,
Okay.
that they focused so much on the romance between Edward and Bella, which is that it just you missed why Jacob was so amazing. Why there were so many Team Jacobs out there, you know.
Well, I think though, as somebody who's avidly rewatched these, and it's I don't need so me and my best friend, every time we're together, watch all of these movies. My friend Brandy, call out Brandy, I know you're listening. We will sit down every time, we get ridiculous desserts and we plow through all the movies. Like that's a thing we do. We put on our pajamas, we watch them, talk derogatorily about them the entire time and many things, but we watched them. But I have to say, you know, from having a daughter who was the right age for those when the movie started coming out, and she was 100% Team Jacob. And I think, yeah, there were layers to it. I'm not saying you're wrong in your choice. I'm just saying there were layers to it, but having watched the right age for these children that this was written for, right? I know there's a lot of Twilight moms, so to speak, but I think that it did show that Jacob was the healthier choice. It really did, because throughout the entire books, Jacob is the healthier choice, and she rewrote Midnight Sun, and it made Jacob even more of a healthier choice. Like you couldn't get any healthier. Like,
in this game because I couldn't get to the books and I never watched the movie.
I love so and you might be right about that because I was in my 20s reading, you know, and I was like, because I love a good werewolf story anyway. And have a good vampire story. And I was like, okay, what was
but he's sparkly and that's fairies. My problem is I know too much about mythology and I'm like, this is all wrong.
But see, okay.
Oh
so
my God, we're not having a Twilight debate.
Now you can start me, right? Now you can start me out. It wasn't like that in the books. Like how they did it. It wasn't like that. It was more like it was more like shiny stone, not sprinkles.
Fairies and gargoyles are made of stone.
Well, it was supposed to be rubies. That's the other thing, is they made it like diamonds, and it's supposed to be rubies.
Not this rainbow, colorful, sparkly thing. It wasn't supposed to be like that. So
now I don't want to get in the middle of this, but we're not talking about Twilight anymore. Didn't
work out as well as the books did. I'm just saying, you're proving my point again.
Okay. So, what is your favorite?
I didn't say it. I noticed it. I didn't say it. I'm like,
God, we're gonna lose it in about 3 seconds.
All right.
I have 4 of these bad boys. Don't make me eat another cherry, because that's what's gonna happen. What's your favorite weird food combination?
When I was younger, I used to eat Chinese food rice and crunch up jalapeno chips in the rice and eat it like that. I don't know why.
I like it.
It sounds like a good combo.
So it's kind of like, it's like the crunchy aspect, and it had to be hot. It had to be like jalapeno flavored or something hot in the rice, and then I would crunch it up and like eat it like that. I know.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. Then Val, you're not asking any questions.
Yeah, usually you get mad at me when I ask questions. If you could be any paranormal mythological creature, which one would you
werewolf
be?
I thought about this several times.
Why? She has prepared for this question her entire life.
Yeah,
to tell the world why.
I have. I really feel like I'd be a really good Luna wolf. Yeah.
I can see that. I could see that. I think she'd be terrifying, but I can see that.
But
okay. So, what is one of your irrational fears?
Irrational fear?
Mm-hmm.
My irrational fears.
Or I suppose a rational one.
I was gonna say, like, you know, I am still afraid of heights. I don't mind getting on the plane. I don't mind takeoff. Landing.
Is it the heights, or are you afraid of falling?
I'm afraid of falling. I mean,
I had to come to that realization. I wasn't actually afraid of being up in the air. I was more afraid of the imminent landing, that I wouldn't do well.
Oh, I got an irrational one. I'm afraid of being struck by lightning.
And
Oh, well,
Florida-
see, Al lives in Florida, so that could be a rational fear.
Yeah,
I mean,
Right,
I'm in
right.
like the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area where we don't have like lightning hit us every 5 seconds. But during a lightning storm, I'm not afraid of the thunder. I'm afraid of the light.
Well, the thunder is not going to hit you. I mean, that's a completely rational fear, being
No,
the lightning.
growing up, I would, during a thunderstorm, would be reading my book, and lightning, because I had those old crank windows with a big metal frame, and lightning would fucking pop the window behind me.
No,
And I'd be blind for 5 minutes. My dad finally cut down the pine tree because that's what was causing it. It would arc in for the pine tree, and then the metal would draw it down, and it would pop my windows every damn time.
like I would be like walking somewhere and like lightning would start, and I would literally look around to make sure I wasn't the tallest thing. Like
All I can think about is in The Great Outdoors with John Candy. How many times have you been hit? 67 times.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
I love that show. It's a good movie.
So you talked about wanting to write a werewolf and stuff. Is there a genre that you would love to attempt to write but haven't?
Well, I think what I'm doing now is the genre that I've never done a werewolf story before ever. And I love werewolf stories. And I feel like if I do a werewolf story and it sucks ass, I'm gonna be mad at myself. So I'm really taking my time with this one and just kind of making sure that it's right.
Okay,
But
so if you get one bad review on the beginning, you can't be mad at yourself.
I know. You sound like my mom.
Now I'm eating another cherry because you said that.
Just to make you feel better, SK Kabba, you should go read my 1-star and 2-star reviews for Sleeping with Sasquatch, because they crack me up. Because one of them goes, "This is like reading a book about the other woman in a romance who's too horny and thinks only about sex." It is. That's what the book's about.
Oh God.
I don't think it's I hate to say this, but I almost feel like you don't get your watch me draw this back, cherry popped as an author unless you have a 1-star review.
I mean, go to your favorite book and look at those 1-star reviews. Like a lot of authors I have who struggle with this, I said, go look at your favorite book of all time or your favorite author. Look at their 1-star reviews.
I'll go do that. Yeah.
They're there.
Go look at Twilight's 1-star reviews.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of them.
And
People either love Twilight or hate Twilight.
Right. And it doesn't stop anyone from reading it. You know, especially if they say something like it was so unrealistic how his friends put in a Craigslist ad, but said nothing about the fact that he's Sasquatch. I'm glad that part was realistic for you.
You know, you can't please them all, my friends. You can't please them all. Okay, do you write reviews, Eskay?
I do.
Do you write reviews regardless, or do you write only positive reviews?
No, I write reviews regardless, but I do use constructive criticism. You know, I read a really good book that was on. Still in it and recording. I wrote a really good book. I read a story that was on Literotica that everyone gave it a whole lot of praise, and it's not that I hated it. I just hated the main characters. I loved everyone else in the book except the main characters. I felt like they were needy and awful and all this stuff. Anyway, so I did. I wrote the review honestly in saying, but I'm also, listen, in my, other world, I'm a social worker, I'm a life skills coach. I do things from a strength perspective. I'm always encouraging. So I'm never going to be like, this shit sucks, never write it again. that's never going to be me. It's always going to be like, I didn't like this, and here's why, maybe try this next time, that kind of thing. I had read another story that it was so good. It was actually the theme of how I ended up writing my story about the two men that found each other on a plane, because I read a story about two men who, met on a plane and ended up falling in love. But the proofreading was awful. It made me like, is my proofreading this awful? And so I didn't write on the page. I actually sent a message, and I didn't do it anonymously. I sent a message and said, I really, really like the story. I love the theme of it. I think the characters have so much depth to it. But the proofreading is really bad. And, and you really need to expand, as we talked about earlier, the world that they're in, because I have a hard time when people write stories that are like, they just start a conversation and I'm like, okay, but where are they? Are they in a car? Are they in a house? Are they on the street? Like, are they sitting on chairs? Set the scene for me a little bit. Don't just tell me that they started this conversation. Is it nighttime? Is it daytime? Is it like, tell me something about this, about the scene. And so I kind of wrote that. He never responded to me, but the next couple of chapters were up. So
that's always good.
So they took what I refer to as the Amazon approach, which Amazon never admits fault in anything. They instead fix it.
They just fix it
and then go, there wasn't an issue. What are you talking about? Even if you send them screenshots, they're like, what do you mean? It's fine. Look at this now.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally take no responsibility for anything. I think it's hysterical. Okay. What is something that is your like Achilles heel as a writer, like that you go, damn it, every time you write, like your editor gets a hold of it and goes, stop having everyone shrug. Like, so what do you do in your manuscripts?
So the first editor that went through Four Horsemen pointed out that I write leaned a lot. He leaned here, he leaned there. And I'm like, no, I don't. Don't you know I went back and went through Bittersweet Irish Cream, and even like, Charlie and Chris's story, it's called The Ranger and the Dragon Tamer. And I'm like, damn it, I really do say leaned a lot. It was so bad that I literally went and redid Bittersweet Irish Cream, the first couple of chapters, and resubmitted it back to Literotica as like edits, just so I could take out all the daggone lean. Like,
it's crazy.
I love that.
You don't realize you do it, and sometimes it does. It takes an editor to be like, can you stop using
yeah,
this
but
word?
how it's like, he leaned into my neck and he leaned over and so much
And he
leaning
shrugs and he nods and he winks and he bites his lip.
Yeah,
He sighed. He glared. He glared was my last one recently.
Yeah, no, she stopped doing another one and started doing a whole new one. That's what Val does every book.
Yeah.
She does a whole
Each
different
book has
problem.
a different crutch every time. Like I fix one problem and I only create a new problem.
She's like, they're not nodding anymore. Instead, their eyebrows all raise all the time.
Maybe their eyebrows.
And I'm like, weirdest facial gestures for no reason.
Our other friend has a habit that all the secondary characters start with the same letter.
Oh, no.
Jackie, Jim, John.
No. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, I played in a role-playing game with her running it. And I'm like, I actually don't know what's going on after we ran into so many like non-player characters. Because I'm like, they all have, I don't know who we're talking to anymore. Like, I'm going to call them all John because I have no idea what's happening. I don't care what their gender is. I'm calling them John. Moving on because it's very confusing. Okay. What do you think you do incredibly well? What are you super proud of?
I give my characters depth. I give them backstory. I can tell you, I'm not kidding. I can tell you the backstory of every single character, including the minor characters. Like I really create their entire family history and what their personalities and what they love to do. And because of that, they flow into each other, really well, because, Afia is this way at all times, no matter if she's in Jack's story or Ethan's story or Connor's, like she's the same way throughout. So, and that's because of her upbringing, which I know.
I love that. What about, what is your favorite fan moment? And then Val, you're going to get the final question, so it better not be dumb. So what is your favorite? I have to tell her this. She comes up with some weird dumb questions sometimes. Just kidding. I love that. What is your favorite fan moment that you've had?
With this new series?
No, just period. What is your favorite fan moment?
Oh, absolutely, hands down, when I did the first part of Bittersweet Irish Cream, and at the end of it, I was just like, hey, I do have a little bit more, but only if like you guys really want to hear it. And then I just got comments, like 20 comments, and like, what do you mean? Put more out there. We need to see this. We need to see more. We need to hear more. We need more Jack's story. And and then someone else had kind of wrote, now you see all these comments, which means that you now have to put it up here. And I was like, it was like, oh my God, like people really, really love my work, and that was amazing. But how can I forget the most recent one? Was I put a story out there. See, here's what happens again, right? It was one little itty bitty line from Jack's story about the roommates in Rockville, two older men who share a house together. And I ended up writing a full story set in 1981 when they first met. And I put it on Literotica as, summer loving contest, just throwing it out there. And it fucking won. Like I got paid. I won like first prize for this. There are over 50,000 people read it, over, 300 likes. And, all these comments about how like this story is amazing. And it shocked me because, here's the thing about my stories. Yes, can I go like full, porn on paper? Sure, I can definitely do that. But for the most part, they're actually stories. There's a story of, behind it. And so this story wasn't a whole lot of like sex. It was just, the story, and it had a couple of sex scenes here and there. So I thought people would like it. I didn't think it was going to fucking win. Like it shocked me. So thank you, Literotica fans, everyone who liked that story and voted on it. And it humbled me so much. It was like, oh my gosh, like people really like my work, like I'm putting work out there that is celebrated, and I think, and I got a couple of comments, after that, it just about it. Yeah. So that was the most recent one that was it was really humbling to just kind of know like, oh, wow. Like, it was like, oh, I'm a writer. Not when Connor's story was published, right? Yeah. But I threw a free story out there with no expectations at all. And people gravitated towards it.
Without, that's a good feeling.
It was a great feeling. And it's definitely, it's little moments that I think for all of us that we go, wow, yes, they're fans and they're listening and they want more.
They want more. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Val.
All right. As writers, most of us have sort of what I call a writing ritual where we sit down and we have to like do certain things. Like Anne Rice talks about having she had a cup of coffee and multiple copies of her favorite pajamas that she would sit and wear and write with. And of course, these guys know that half the time, I'm going to be writing if I have chocolate milk and a Slim Jim and music jamming. So
by the way, we do not endorse this snack choice.
With Doritos sometimes.
Oh my God. Can you imagine chocolate milk, Slim Jim, and Doritos? This is like...
What did you ask me? The weird combination earlier? I think that was that.
That's where this came from.
The worst part is it's not weird for Val. This is normal.
We asked that question now because Val has many combos that are questionable. So what is your writing ritual?
What is my regular one or my weird one? Because I have two. So
let's share.
We want both.
Okay, so the regular one, like if I'm like, okay, I have to write, I need to like sit down and write. I'll actually have something has to go on in the back. So I don't know. I have like undiagnosed ADHD. Something has to, like the TV has to go on in the background. And I just need to, it has to be like early in the morning. So what happens is sometimes my best writing time is probably like 4 in the morning. Like if I wake up like 4 or 5 in the morning, I'll take my laptop downstairs. Sometimes like just have something and it's on mute. I should mention that. So it's on mute, just going in the background. And then I just like focus and I will sit there from like 4 to like 7 a.m. and I'll knock out 3,000 words, like seriously, just like that. And that's usually the best time. That's usually the best time for me. My weird ritual, I must be a little tipsy. I'm gonna show you. And you guys are gonna see. I take my laptop. I'm not kidding. I have to lay like upside down, and then I have my laptop like on my lap like this, and then I type like upside down.
I like how she's giving us a demonstration. This is how the magic happens, people.
That's how the magic happens.
That's how the magic happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
sometimes I will lay on the floor with my feet on the bed. So like my back is on the floor, my feet is on the bed, and my laptop's on my lap, and I will write like that. And in one of my the story, A Plain and Simple Connection that I don't have out yet, that's how Rian writes too, because Rian is a writer, and that's how he writes too. Because someone had to know, someone had to see this. Like, am I the only one that writes upside down? I don't know, but yeah, Rian does too.
No, I think that's great. Every one of us has a way that we have to do stuff. Even if we're really, really flexible and can write anywhere, you still have certain things that kind of have to be in place.
Yeah.
I've discovered, I don't care if I'm on a laptop, I have to have an actual mouse.
Yes.
Like I cannot.
I cannot do it.
I can't. I can.
I don't like the fingers thing. I don't like the fingers thing either.
Yeah, no. If I will literally like be almost thrown out of the thing because I'm like,
This is too
what I want to do.
My finger is like, my finger is getting numb. It's too much work. Yeah, I need it.
No, I can't do that. Okay. We have to wrap it up. Okay, shameless self-promotion time, Eskay. Tell people where and what to find.
So the Hidden Love series is out. Book 1 is Hidden Love. Book 2 is Not So Hidden. And book 3, as soon as I find my phone and I can show you the picture because that's the only way that I have it right now.
We'll put links too, so that's a
yes, please put links in there for book 3. There you are. Signs of Affection.
Ooh.
Signs of Affection comes out December 30th. The other 2 books are on Amazon and Goodreads and Barnes and Nobles and wherever books are sold. And then Signs of Affection comes out on December 30th. And I'm so excited about this because I really did leave everyone in the lurch at the end of book 2. I keep getting calls and emails and phone calls that Connor's going to jail, and I don't answer them because you have to read book 3 to find out.
And now you have to read book 2 to find out why the hell Connor might go to jail.
Exactly. And then you have to read book 1 to find out who the hell is Connor.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, you have been so thoroughly amazing. I'm so glad you came on this podcast with us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to review it and share it. Oh, shameless plug. Please follow me on Instagram. I need followers. Follow me and email me at sk.kabba@gmail.com and follow me at sk_kabba_author on IG and get exclusivity to my work. I think I'm drinking a little too much too. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, first of all, I've eaten all the cherries. That's an impossibility.
Yeah.
Hashtag winning over here. But you've been brilliant. Absolutely follow, get on your newsletter. I think it's amazing. My amazing co-host today, who did very well.
Did good. Yes, I got. Let us go in the record books. I got a golden star today.
Wait, can I do a reaction? Where's the little heart button? Good job.
Oh, I didn't even know there's buttons for that.
Yeah, I didn't say it was gold star worthy. That's not what I said at all.
You
And you ruined it within 3 seconds of me even trying to compliment you. So well done with that, as per usual. Okay, so this has been Drinking with Authors, the Literary Briefs Drunk Edition. I've been your host, Erica Lance. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and please leave us a review. We would love to hear what you think, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.